Great
Hey
idea.
Ashley, I hope you feel better soon. We just decided to record this for you, so that you can have the overview of what we're saying. I was just about to share what I put together for you all, so I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen, and then so let me know when you see something. You should hopefully see like a PowerPoint come up.
Yes.
Brilliant. So let me just put it on slideshow, and I might just minimize you. Oops, sorry, that was the alarm to join the call. I'm on the call. I'm on the call already. Okay. So yeah, because sometimes when I just get busy with things, you just forget. So I didn't want to be late. So how do I move this down so I can do slideshow? There we go. Nope. Sorry. There we go. Lovely. So you can still see everything, right? After I click through. Okay, brilliant. So I just want to take you through, like, literally, I had to look through everything. In fact, this is the agenda I kind of thought for today, and you can change any of this if you want. But I thought a good use of our time would be to show you where we are against that 4D success roadmap that I've been talking about, share some of the highlights from the survey that we've been doing, show you what the high level plan I've put together. And then, obviously we're going to go prepare the content for the week. I've included some really helpful survey responses that we can use as we plan the content, what tools, what articles, what podcasts, that kind of thing. And then we'll take a look at what do we need to do, basically, to make sure we have a successful week International Women's Day. So does that sound okay? Or did you have something else in mind for today?
No, it sounds perfect.
No, that sounds great.
Brilliant. So just as a quick look at where we are. So remember, we had that 4D discovery, design, deliver, debrief. So we've done the discovery. So we're now on the stage of where we're designing what does everything look like. Why is this popped up? Can you see that? Sorry. Did you see that black bar pop up? Okay, no, it's just me. So yeah, so we're on the design phase now, because we finished the discovery where we kind of looked at the survey. We didn't quite get the input from any stakeholders, but I know it was a bit of a hectic.
I did push as well.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, it's okay. But what is not good is if we never ask. If we ask and nobody says anything, then what we're going to do is going to be brilliant. You don't have to worry about that. But if you do something and people never ask, they're like, oh, well, who asked me? And then we don't want that. But now, because we've asked, what we're going to do is going to be brilliant as well. I don't think there'll be any issue. I think people just want to feel like they were considered. So yeah, and thank you for your calendar you sent through. So we're now on this design phase. I'm going to use that calendar, just a quick heads up, more in the debrief when I come to talk to you like after the event on the 17th about, okay, so this what happened and this what you can do to maximize everything else that you're trying to do. So we're now on basically this call on 24th to look at, okay, what can we do in that week? So I'm going to move on to start looking at some of the survey highlights. So just quick highlights, we ended up having 29 responses, which was amazing, considering the number of staff. That is phenomenal, actually. And I just thought it was quite nice, in line with the collaboration and responsiveness of your company. It's true, people actually did respond. That's super high. And, we stayed around the sort of 21% mark of people who are not women responding, which is fantastic as well. Really good.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that you got
some. That's brilliant. We were pushing in the week. I was sort of going into nudging everyone. Have you completed your form?
Oh, you are so good. Oh, I can tell, honestly, because this is not normal. Typically, we would get about maybe 15% of the population, if that. Like, I'd be grateful for 10%. So this is really phenomenal. So I was really pleased with that. And then what I really liked as well, because then I take a look at, okay, so everybody's answered, what are they saying that their main challenges are? And what do they want to see in terms of the content? And there's some really, really key consistent themes that came up, both in terms of the challenges that people are facing and in terms of what they want to see. So I've kind of like split them into these two things that we'll then look at using. So most of the big things that, people had an issue with, like, can you help me with this? Confidence was number one. I think there was like about 10 people that said confidence. I just need help with my confidence. Huge.
And was that across both?
Yes. Interesting. Men and women.
Okay.
Yes, men and women. Yes. Confidence was like number one thing. And then a lot of mainly women were like, how do I progress my career, particularly around, caring for, elderly parents or children, or taking a career break? Like, how do I then come back in and, get moving, accelerating? How do I, care for people? How do I create work-life balance? How do I communicate effectively? There was a few people that thought, and this is typical, that people don't take me seriously. How do I be taken more seriously? And then a lot of people actually were talking about rising cost of living and, you know, I'm stressed about finances. So these were kind of like the key areas that kind of came up hot on people's minds. And then in terms of what they'd want to see as like to celebrate the week, what content they would, you know, we suggested, hey, do you want to look at talks, panels? Everyone's like, yes, we love the idea of talks, panels, podcasts, any kind of bite-sized content that you want to give us to address some of the challenges that come up. Loads of people actually said, oh, we'd love an opportunity to network and collaborate with each other and other people. So these are kind of the themes that came up. And somebody, I love this, I've never heard this before, but I really like this. Somebody said they wanted to see mental health small wins. And I thought, I like that. I don't know what that is, but I think we can create something. I have some thoughts. So this is kind of like, you know, what the data was telling me. So before I move on, do you have any thoughts, or should I just continue?
No, it's great. Yeah, it's really good feedback there, definitely.
Amazing. So, and it usually is, because we don't want to like put something that's out there that's irrelevant. And this looks busy, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through everything and it will make sense. So I was thinking, okay, so those challenges kind of came up and there was like 5-6 things. And I thought, you know what? We're doing this for a whole week. Why don't we kind of have an area of focus for each day of the week, right? Based on what is planned. And Suzanne, one thing you mentioned when I said what does success mean for you is that you want people to be really engaged throughout the week, because with things like this, you know, if you're doing something for the week, it's quite easy that people by Wednesday, the actual day, get bored and they drop off. So something that I was thinking I could do, and there's no extra cost to this, I'm happy to do this, invest in your success, is to, well, one thing I found that really maintains engagement is just little kind of like video coaching, and I'll explain what that means as I go on. Little videos for me that kind of pop up throughout the week to almost kind of coach people through on the journey. And this is normally like a 2,000 investment. I'm actually filming next week anyway, so I'm happy to just kind of book some extra time and film this for you.
Is that a bit like when you do your videos on LinkedIn?
Yes. Yeah. So 2-3 minutes. So let me show you how this works, how I'm thinking, and you can give me your feedback. You can say no, you don't have to have it, but I think it will work really great for what we're trying to do. So based on what they've told us the challenges are, I'm thinking on Monday, we have the panel of like powerful people, smart, experienced people. Let's talk about confidence and career progression. And I'll give you some ideas of the questions that the panel can prepare with, right? So we'll address confidence and career progression. Tuesday, we can look at, and we can move these around if you want. Tuesday, we can look at care and responsibility. So not just children, parents, anybody who has to care for somebody. Wednesday, we could tackle cost of living concerns. Thursday, when I'm coming to speak in, I could literally speak about work-life balance in my sleep. So I think that could be a powerful one for me to handle in person. And then on the Friday, we could look at communication. And the way I was thinking it could work, I mean, you open this up however you want, but I was thinking there could be like a 2-3 minute video for me, like initially this bonus bite-sized coaching video that kind of just gets everybody ready for the week. That just says something. I'll think about exactly how to kind of do this. But I think typically, you know, when you don't really think
about one moment, the light's just gone off for some reason.
Oh gosh.
Our lights are all connected, so if someone turns the lights off and they don't realise you're in a booth, they all turn off. So sometimes.
Oh no! But are you at home?
I'm at home today.
Oh, I was going to say, because you're still on the light. Is everything okay? Yeah. Did you go to evacuate, Suzanne?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Random. Yeah, so basically, I was just thinking, like, you know, to kind of open up, just like, these are not long videos. I don't think anybody has time for that. But I just want to get people kind of excited, number one, but we're doing this. Yay, it's going to be a great week. And also, you know, just be very deliberate about what you want to take from the week. It's almost like, okay, you never see red BMWs, but when somebody mentions a red BMW or you buy one, immediately you start seeing them everywhere. So I want to get people to think about what it is they want to see. Like, well, how do they want to embrace equity? What does that even mean? So get them thinking about it, because then they'll notice it everywhere in the things that we're sending them. So I'll kind of just get people aware, kind of looking for solutions with like a quick tee up video in the beginning. And then you'd have that panel discussion with Q&A, and we'd survey people with like
We've got one person now.
Yay! Yay!
Hopefully more.
Hopefully more. Fingers crossed more, please. But yeah, about 2-3 people, at least maybe 2 more people would be amazing. But yeah, to talk about some of the things that I'll show you on the next slide. And then like a quick survey. Again, the survey is like a 30-second thing, like, hey, rate this, and did it help you solve something? And, you know, this will give us more data for how you're going to do some of the other things. So I saw in your calendar, you're like, oh, do we do this? Do we do that? So we can use some of this feedback to shape really great content, to keep improving basically as you move through the year. And then like literally after the panel discussion and anything else you want to share with them that day on Monday, there's going to be like a 1-minute video, and it could be the same video like a couple of days, where I just give them a moment to kind of reflect and say, okay, so you came with a challenge, you came with something, you know, what one thing are you going to do differently? Almost how are you going to embrace equity, you know, based on what we've shared about career confidence and career progression. Because the thing is, in this busy everyday life, we can experience all these things and just move on and not really anchor in what we're taking away. So that minute video would be just getting them to anchor in, like, you know what, this person said, so I'm going to do that. So I'll just get them to kind of make a note of, I'm taking away on career confidence and progression, this piece. So that's Monday. And then on Tuesday, this could be like the content that you'd share to them. So this could be the podcast, or maybe like a talk or an article or something. And again, I'll have that same reflection video. Okay, so we'll be talking about caring responsibilities, you know, for kids or your parents. What one thing are you going to take away that's going to help you embrace equity in this area of your life, right? And then that's Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, I think it's time for probably like another video, because it's actually International Women's Day. I can do a bit of a hype, like, hey, looking forward to celebrating with you tomorrow. Happy you met into International Women's Day, keeping them engaged and excited about the week. And then, you know, you can also provide articles or whatever it is, content you want to, around the rising cost of living concerns. And I can touch a little bit about some things, but you can maybe share tips that, you know, helpful information around this. And then again, we get people to reflect for a minute at the end of the day. Thursday, creating work-life balance is a theme. I'll actually be there in person and survey people again about, you know, so we'll have like this interactive session. And can I just want to confirm, how long is it? Like an hour? Did you want me to talk, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we'll set aside an hour, but we can, we'll be guided by you. If you think it should be shorter, if that's too long, then...
No, an hour's good. An hour's good, but I want to make it interactive. And, you know, if we want to hear from people, an hour's really good. So I'll prepare some content and be prepared to have more conversation and dialogue, and really give them that. I want to interact with my colleagues that people kept on saying that they want. So yeah, so an hour. So we'll have that, and just a quick, again, 60-second survey, and I'll get them to reflect about what are you taking away in terms of one thing you're going to do differently in your life to create work-life balance. And then similarly on Friday, we can focus on this area of effective communication. Again, we can gather content and share with them, and then get them to kind of reflect about what are you going to do differently around effective communication. And then at the end of it, you can close as you see fit to kind of just tie up the whole week. So I'm going to take a breath and take a sip of coffee. And see, what do you think? It sounds like a lot, but I think it's doable. But,
well, it looks amazing, I think.
Yeah, looks fantastic.
Yeah. I really like the idea of having just the bite-sized videos, because, as you say, they're short enough that people will watch it. I mean, I'm exactly the same. Like, I get sent videos on WhatsApp, you know, like sometimes they're jokey things and stuff, and I look at these 5 minutes long, and I'm like, I can't be bothered.
And I'm saying, who has that time?
But I think that's really nice, because it's not just, I think people are more engaged when it's more visual.
Yeah.
And you're listening to something rather than reading something. So I think that's really great. So I love that idea, and also the reflection piece as well. So yeah, I think that looks amazing. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting, but
no, I like to over deliver. That's my style. It's because I just saw everything you want to do, and I'm just so excited for the team. That it would be so nice if the first thing gets done really well. And this looks like a lot, but it's not going to be too hard to pull together. So let me kind of go to that next, as to how we're going to pull it together. So what I thought, because actually what I should have mentioned, you know, going back, is I've put some names beside who's doing what here. So obviously I'm going to create these videos for you. I'm filming, I think it's Thursday 2nd. So I should be able to get them to you by the 3rd, which is Friday. But, you know, the panel I know you're all working on. And so I put names by who's doing what, you know, so that everyone's kind of clear on that. But for all of us, as we're kind of creating this content, whether it's the videos or thinking about what articles do we put in, or what podcasts do we share, or what, you know, 3-minute, whatever do we include, I thought it might be helpful to see some of the survey responses, just so that even for the questions on the panels, one thing that you mentioned, right, you know, these would be helpful questions to address. So, and then so you could prepare, and whoever else is joining can prepare. So some people are wondering, how do I create my own opportunities for career progression? Some people feel like I want to say no, like to progress my life and, you know, career, but how do I do that without feeling guilty and managing pushback? So just some beautiful things that you can just literally all take and formulate 3-4 questions. I don't know how long you're planning for the panel, but if there's 3 people, you only need like maybe 2 questions, like 2-3 questions that each person takes. But here's like what you could just basically talk to. People want to know, how do you, we know this, how do you work-life balance, career progression, career breaks. How do I deal with people talking over me? How do I lead in times of turbulence and challenge? I think this is kind of ongoing really for everybody. So you can have an honest discussion about that. This person says they're new to their role, they're confident, but they're struggling a little bit, you know, in the workplace. How do I have confidence to go make friends? So there's just a wealth of concerns that you could just take and formulate really great questions to talk to, and also just brief your guests about, okay, people are wondering about, how do you maintain confidence, positivity? Is it a case of, no, you don't? Some days you just cry and you get on with it. Like, you know, these are things that people are thinking about. How do you have confidence and a voice in a male-dominated industry? And I think people want to just hear frank conversations about how people are coping with stuff like this. I love this one. I don't know who wrote this, but I thought, wow, this is great. You know, how do you hear real life? I want to hear real life stories about how people have navigated their careers. And today's society, women play different roles. How do they juggle and balance those roles? How do you initiate conversations about your career and show value in the business? Because nobody's going to come hand you something, but how do you do it? So these are some of the things I think would make really great content for the panel. People want to hear inspirational stories. We know that, of course. People want to hear from highly influential and accomplished women and men. So maybe some of the posts during the week could definitely highlight, you know, some men and how this relates to the whole International Women's Day story. I like this person. Discussion and debate that resonate with the HDWE team. Not generic content and no superwoman overachieving examples. Just women doing it every day very well, which is amazing. How do they do it? And what tips do they have? You know, so these are just, it's just a wealth of things that we could just pick from to decide which articles or which podcasts or which whatever we want to share with people. So I'm going to pause, I think, before I move on to get any comments, questions, reaction.
No, the quality of the responses is great.
Yeah, fantastic.
You can tell people have actually thought about it,
yes,
rather than just typing anything, you know.
Yeah. And it's so helpful because hopefully now that we've already got them thinking about this, they're going to come to the whole event thinking about this. So again, they're kind of primed to find the red BMW. So if we give them exactly what they've said, they'll really get value from it, and it will be enjoyable in the format. So they've told us the content style that they like. So let's kind of vary it up, and they'll absolutely love it and benefit from it. So let me just move on to the remaining to-dos. So basically, this is what and we can add to this, by the way. So I'm thinking over the next kind of up until, you know, the week really of International Women's Day, we're going to gather and create content for the events. So we're still going to be gathering panel people. I've actually already created a panel survey link and a QR code. I'll show you what this is. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just hang up. There's somebody trying to call me. There's a panel survey I already created just that says, oh, you know, in fact, let me just show you really quickly. We'll come back to this in a sec. So I'm guessing, actually, let me just clarify this. My assumption was that you wanted me virtual for the panel, right? And then I'll come in person on Thursday, or is that?
Yeah, not? Whatever suits.
Yeah, I think they might just have too much Maxine if I'm there on video, there in person, like on it. So I think it's probably easier for me to just be virtual. So I'll attend and, like, you know, because there's going to be some people attending virtually, right?
I think most will be in person.
Or will there be a virtual option or no?
Oh, sorry, you mean people watching it?
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I thought you meant people on the panel. No, we will have it virtual as well. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. So I was thinking it might be just in terms of the flow and, like, you know, just people getting the most of it. I personally think it would be better for me to not be there, especially if I'm on video, like on the day. And then I'll come in person on the Thursday. But if you want me there, I'll try and see if I can move things around.
No. So does that mean you'll just be watching it like a participant? Yes.
Yeah. And I can, depending on Q&A, I can kind of
always ask some questions, couldn't you?
Exactly. So
I'll struggling. You know what people are like; they're afraid to speak up.
Exactly. So
I'll be able to.
Exactly. So I'll do that. But what I was thinking is, when that panel gets done with, so if you have, I don't know if you're going to have anything on the screen or whatever, this is a link that is helpful to include in your materials, because what it is, it will show you, let me just click on here real quick. Can you still see my screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So this will say, this is a panel feedback form that I've just created. Again, it's going to take less than a minute. They'll just basically rate the panel, where 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. And then we'll just say, did you get any insights to tackle the challenges that you were facing? So the challenges they were telling us about, yes or no. What's your biggest takeaway? This is not compulsory, but it's always nice to see what people are actually appreciating. Any other comments or suggestions? And again, we want to know, is it men, is it women? So that's like the quick feedback thing. So I can change this if you don't want that. But at the end of the panel, it would be helpful to kind of just quickly get people while they're still there to fill this out. Because
I see. And then what would we get the results instantly? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the results, I'll kind of collate everything kind of like I've done just now, because I'll also get feedback immediately from my talk. But also from my talk, I'll ask about how's the week been? And then when I come to debrief you on the 17th, I'll kind of say, hey, this is what the panel, I can even give you the panel information sooner if you want. But I was planning to then debrief you with everything and just say, this is what things look like, and this is what we could do better next time, or this is what people loved, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the thought. So let me just go back. So we gather and create content for events, including the panel. I've got the survey already set up and can tweak it if you need. So yeah, the other thing I wanted to kind of just check with you is speaker dress code. So depending on organizations, some people want me to come in jeans and a t-shirt. Some people want me like, so what is it for you all? Like, do you care or?
We're kind of, I hate this word because I don't think it makes any sense, but I'd say sort of like business casual.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
You know how we're not jeans or trainers or anything like that, but the men don't tend to wear ties anymore, for example. But I mean, you always look amazing anyway, Maxine. So
thank you. But you don't want to overdo it as well, because I remember I think it was The Guardian I was going to go into, and I was going to dress and overdo it, and they're like, no, don't do that. And just as well, because people were in jeans.
You'd think for The Guardian that you would.
Exactly. I was like, oh my gosh, I better like book a makeup artist and everything. Like, no, come in jeans. So yeah, I always ask now. Okay, business casual, that works. I like that. Okay, fab. And then is there any way that you kind of refer to yourself? There's some companies that say, oh, we're IBMers or we're this. Like, is there any way that you refer to yourselves?
No, I know what you mean, but no, we don't.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just for the videos, it might just be nice. Say, oh, hey, you know.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's a bit difficult with our name as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, just
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then so I want to make sure this doesn't then become onerous. Like, it seems like a lot looking at that slide of everything to do. But one thing, I don't know how you intend to kind of reach out to people every day, but that's something that would need to be set up. Is it an email? Is it?
We would probably do it on. We've got an intranet, which is good. And we post things on there. So my plan was that we would post something there on every day.
Fantastic. Good. Okay, so that would just be the thing. So I will have my videos to you by like the 1-minute videos and tell you, okay, this one is for the Monday. You know, I'll have all of that to you by probably end of day. It's Friday next week, but very latest it might be the weekend, because I'm literally filming Thursday and Friday. But I'm thinking I'll do your videos on Thursday to make sure you get them by Friday.
Okay.
For the intranet and everything you need to do. So we then need to finalize logistics and tech and anything else for the event. Super important. A lot of companies, we want to have a splash on social media, then they forget to get a photographer. So whoever's taking pictures, there has to be somebody whose only job is to make sure they get the pictures for you. And you think about what pictures you want so that you can have the right kind of messaging, both internally and externally. So that's something for you to all think about. And then, you know, of course, along with that, planning internal and external communications, e.g. social media, and then anything else, like we can just talk about anything else you feel we need to do, because this was my brain dump after kind of doing the plan, and I realized I could have missed something. So what are your thoughts?
No, that sounds fine. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to get involved, the events team, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of the
definitely,
tech,
because they'll help with all of this tech stuff.
They have all like the microphones and stuff.
Brilliant.
I don't know what we'll do about photographer. It might just be that we do that ourselves.
Yeah, it could be somebody like this. Might be somebody in the team that's just passionate about pictures, and we know that that's their job, to take pictures of the lunches or whatever, everything. Because there was one event, it was so amazing, and nobody took pictures, and they were like, oh no. And I was like, I was so gutted, because almost like, if there's no pictures, it didn't happen. It did not happen in 2023. So somebody's, it's got to be their job to kind of get, and you tell them what pictures you want, thinking ahead about the communications you want to make, you know, both internally and externally, so that, because people forget very quickly in the busyness of life. So if you want to remember people, hey, you were really seen, you were really heard, some images might do that better than others. So maybe it's worth having to think about that, and then just brief in whoever, saying, hey, make sure you get pictures of this, that, and the other.
Okay.
And then, so it's up to you, this last bullet point about, do you think that we need to meet again before the actual week kicks off? Or should we just do by email? I'm happy either way. If we want to meet, the last availability I have is on Wednesday, just because I am filming, like I'm in the studio back to back on Thursday and Friday. So it would have to be Wednesday, which I am happy to do.
I know I'm not free at that time on Wednesday.
Okay, so I can move things around.
But the others, I mean, I'm just trying to work out whether we need it. Just one thing that's not on here is in terms of resources like podcasts and stuff. Is that for us to source, Maxine?
Yeah, because I think Ashley was saying that you were thinking about, you know, different things. I don't know if you had any of that already.
I don't really. No. Do you have anything that you think's good, or?
So there's, you know, around some of these topics. So basically, let's just go back to some of these.
I'm just concerned about the time that we need to find decent stuff that links to those. Five groups.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Let me just go back here. So from here. So I think, should we do this? Yeah, because it has to be kind of good and not too overwhelming, basically, to kind of touch on all of these things. So not so much career confidence and not career progression and confidence, and not work-life balance, because we'll be in person.
So you think what we've got planned for those 2 days will be sufficient?
I think so, because I don't think people are going to attend an event and then go read something or listen to a podcast. In fact, it might just be too much because they have to work as well. I think those will be enough for those days, unless you think otherwise.
No, I think that's fine. Yeah.
And to be honest, not to say that we've done everything to do on confidence just because so many people wanted it, and everything on work-life balance. There could be other things that you'd link in the future events, right? And this is stuff I'll give a think about when I debrief you about what else can we do, because we're not going to solve world peace for everybody in a week. But it's like, okay, what can we give that it's like, oh my gosh, so great, that doesn't keep them kind of glued to content all week instead of doing everything else they have to. But they feel like, I've really got a nugget for each of these things. And then look to continue this work with them in some way, shape, or form with the different things that is going on as relevant throughout the calendar. So with care and responsibilities. So let me just see some really good things around caring. And it might just be, let's see, we're nearly, how long do we have on this call? Like 15 minutes. Yeah, so we won't have, is it worth us maybe all having a think and then having that call? Can you do any time on that Wednesday, Suzanne? I'll see if I can.
Let me just have a look.
Share a second, and I'll send this deck as well, because it might be that we have a think about stuff and then reconvene about what do we finally select.
So my meeting that day is 10 till 11:30, and then I'm busy again from 2:30.
Okay, hold on. So potentially from 11:30 till 2:30 potentially. So let me just stop this and check my calendar 1 second. Sorry, my computer decides it's going to take forever to load my calendar when I need to do it quickly. Why? Oh. That's tricky. It might
unless the three of you go ahead without me.
Yeah, or it might be. So you,
and I can, if I've got any ideas, I can just feed them in.
Yeah. The only other thing, it might be that we do that. The only other thing is that I could try to do like 9:30. I'll be on the move from one place to the next. So I could try and do 9:30 to 10. But there's a risk with that. I might be like a couple of minutes late. Is that pushing it? I don't like to.
Simone, are you okay with just you and Ashley doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm free. What's day. Let's have a look. I'm free pretty much all afternoon.
On the first.
So I'm free from 1 onwards.
Yeah, no, the afternoon is what's tricky for me because I've got because I've got.
I'm free to be fair in the morning as well, so I'm free.
So should we maybe do that 10:30?
Yeah,
10:30. Actually, I can just have a quick look. Ashley is free as well. Hang on.
Oh, that's true. Can you check?
Yeah, just bear with me. But I think that I don't think it matters too much if I can't do it.
Yeah, because what we want to really do is agree on, what is going to be helpful content. And I think in the meantime, between now and then, we can all give a think to within these categories, what are some of the great podcasts, or, just look through that content that they'd like to see. So me, you, and Ashley could do this, Simone, and see, okay, what could be good? Like, hey, check this out. And the International Women's Day website probably has loads of like really, really great resources that we can tap into as well.
So Ashley's off site and it finished at 10:30. So she probably wouldn't be back.
11,
Unless she can make it 11.
Let me see. 11. I probably can do 11. 1 second, just give me a moment. Because I think yeah, I can do 11.
Okay. I'll tell
11
her
on the first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do that first. So did you say you'll send the meeting invite, or you want me to?
I can do that if you want.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, so let's so please I'll send this recording and the slides, and then just say let's give some thought as to what would be really impactful in those categories. So then we can then finalize.
And so just in terms of the panel, then you're thinking that some of those questions that you derived from the survey would be good to ask.
Oh yeah. So anything that would kind of answer those concerns that people had about, okay, so if any of the panel have taken a career break and suddenly come back and they're doing well, how do they navigate that? Or how do people create their own opportunities? Or how do they, all of those things that people have said, if we can just kind of make questions up. And that's something we can talk about. So that could be an agenda. So questions for the panel. Panel, and then agree content. And then we can check to see at that point, because you're going to engage the events team, right? Just to see, do they need anything else from us? Like, so what does the events team need from us?
And in terms of the Thursday session, Maxine, so I was proposing that we've got this space upstairs, which is where we normally do our town halls. So we've got a projector at one. Well, projector. God, that sounds old-fashioned. You know what I mean?
Like where you show the slides.
Yes, a screen. That's what I mean. Where you can connect your laptop to or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, would you want it set up in any particular way? We've just got lots of it's almost like a canteen at the moment.
Yeah.
We can reshape. So you've got like a few tables with sort of 8 seats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like it'd be 8 seats around each table.
Yeah, or we can reconfigure that. I'm just trying to
think that's nice. And how many? Let's see. Oh, it'd be nice to kind of see it. Do you have like a picture or anything of it on a?
I suppose I could take one.
Yeah, I mean, if you could take a picture, if you could take a picture and send me, that'd be great. But I think, in groups, because what I was going to do at some point is kind of get people to talk in groups. So if they were naturally sat in groups, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then would you need like a microphone for that, or would you just talk?
Oh, how big is the room?
I'm not very good at. Do you think we will?
Actually, yeah, probably for the people at home, because if somebody's at home, then they get lost because then they can't hear what's happening, even though it's loud enough in the room. Yeah. Yeah. And so the tech people have to
and send it to you.
Brilliant. Yeah, but I think the microphone, even if it's not for the people in the room, for the people at home, so that they can really hear. And will there be like how are we projecting to the people at home? Is there like a camera, or is there like a laptop?
So if we do it via Teams, which is how we do our town halls, they will be able to they might sometimes see the back of you, I guess.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to hear and see everybody else in the room. yeah. It's not ideal. Obviously, I hope that most people that come will be.
And I'll say that in the video, the International Women's Day. Like, it'd be so nice to meet you, like in person. If you can make it in, please do. So hopefully people will. But then for the people, whoever's at home, I want everyone to get something from it. So I'll think about how to involve them. But is it literally a laptop that's then filming me, like front and back, or?
So it will basically be recorded on Teams, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you'll be, you may or may not be on the camera depending on how you're walking around the room.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you'll tell me where the camera is, though. So every once in a while, I can kind of just go up to it and.
I guess it would just be from the laptop on the. I'll ask somebody else who does it for the town halls, because Mark, our CEO, normally does them.
Yeah.
I've never done it remotely, so I don't know how it looks to somebody.
Yeah.
So it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
As long as I know how to kind of every once in a while, so they don't feel so out of it, just kind of go and talk to them. I mean, I'm hoping even in the chat. Okay, let me just give that some thought.
I'm hoping that there won't be many at home, because I would say Thursday's probably one of our more popular days in. So that's fine. And also, I don't think we've actually completely confirmed timing, have we?
No, but I just kind of blocked out the whole lunchtime. But let's do that now and then.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe a 12 start, so that it finishes by 1, and then people can have some lunch and mingle with you. Perfect. If we made it 12:30, that's getting a bit late. People
will be starving by then. Yeah. So let's do 12, and then 12 to 1 for the talk, and then some mingle. That sounds perfect. But I would like to come in a little bit earlier, if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
Check mic and things like that. So I can confirm that with you, Simone, and Ashley, even closer to the time. But that is brilliant. In my mind, lunchtime I blocked out kind of like 10:30 to be heading to you from Hammersmith, where I'll be, to like basically I kind of said 3 o'clock. Like I'm all yours.
And then the Monday, I think it might be 12:30, because we'll probably get people to eat while they're listening to the panel.
Brilliant. Yeah.
But we'll confirm that.
Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. This is good. Let me just see if we have anything. I think these are good thoughts. Any other thoughts coming up, Simone?
No, I don't think so.
No, we'll just need to, if we're doing lunch and things, and do we need to talk to Hannah, or is it the events team?
Oh, I did ask Siobhan about that, and apparently it's the events team.
Okay, perfect. Brilliant.
So are they going to cater then? So we need pictures of food.
We'll
order
something in. We'll order something in.
Oh, you ordered something in. So you need pictures of the food. You need pictures of all the things. All the things, honestly. That's how you you make them, at least even for the internal communications. It's nice to have them. Brilliant. Okay, so fabulous. So we'll have a look through, Simone, have a think. I'll look through, think of some ideas for the content. But I'm so happy with how that shaped out. I really feel that, if people can take away one nugget from each of these things, that would be really, really great. And then the Thursday will be really nice. Like hopefully, I love the energy that we had, when we did this, Suzanne, before. Hopefully we can recreate something that makes sense for you all. And then, then we'll close nicely. Do you want to give some thought as well to how you want to close out the whole week? And just kind of honestly, I think it'd be quite nice for you to.
I think we'll do like a sort of closing post or something, and maybe do another survey if we haven't done too many.
I don't think it's too, we're not overdoing it. So the survey for the panel is like a minute. I'll do one as well, again, similarly for a minute. And to be honest, I think the final thing, I don't know if you want to do a post with a couple of pictures or something on the Friday, and then just welcome feedback by email at that point.
That might be working. If we show some pictures of what we've done in the week. And then that sounds a good idea.
But I think it'll be nice for you to kind of have the final word, just because you opened it up saying, hey, this is happening, and then we'll do all of this stuff, and then just to kind of tie it all up, and then we will speak in the following week and see where we go from there. But I'm excited. I was kind of really excited.
Me too. This is brilliant.
Looking at everything. You're so good. So good.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to take up too much time.
Did you have a nice holiday?
Oh, do you know, I was just saying to Simone, it was amazing, but it feels like a lifetime ago now. She said to me, well, how was your holiday? I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, that holiday. Because I literally came back to like all of these things, but it's all good things like this, like fun things, but it becomes a distant memory, But it was amazing. The weather was so nice. The food was incredible. And it was just nice to rest, like just really rest. So good.
Oh, good. I've got a good time.
Good, yeah.
Oh, well, listen.
All right then. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you've recorded this, but could you send that presentation to us as well?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna right now, it takes about maybe 5 minutes to just do what it needs to do. So what I'll do is I'll upload it into like a Dropbox and send a link to the recording and the PowerPoint. So that you have, and then and I think you sent me the invite already, right? Or
no, I haven't, unless you have, Simone. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so let me just, so one of you will, or should I put it on my to-do?
I'll do it.
Okay, perfect. So I'll take that off my to-dos. Brilliant. So I'll send my to-do is to send you this and the presentation, and then we'll speak on Wednesday.
Brilliant. Thank you.
All right.
Have a great weekend, Maxine.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Bye-bye.